and go.
Bam, bam.
That was fucking great. Welcome to Live on One, a miniature-based podcast. My name is Stephen Maddox, and today I'm with Jen.
Hello.
And then special guest Ryan.
Hello.
So Ryan is on because he was at our charity event. We had a little break in time, obviously, because Adepticon happened, so it kind of threw us off. But we want to get Ryan on because he went 4-0 with Weapon X, which is
Hell yeah.
some feat, to say the least.
It was a great time, and thank you guys for coordinating that tournament. It was wonderful, and I'm glad of all it could do for, the cause and all that.
Yeah, man, it was a lot more successful than I thought it was going to be, actually. I was really happy with it.
Shout out once again to Stephen Borg for literally doing everything. We did nothing.
I did nothing.
We are useless vestigial organs in that endeavor, but he was the brain and the brawn behind that.
I showed up 20 minutes before dice roll, and I was like, hey, I'm here to play. Didn't do anything. All right, cool. So interest stuff like always. Alive on One stories. I don't have any fun ones because I literally have not played a game since Adepticon. So I was like, I need to take a little break. What about you, Ryan? I see you got one here.
Yeah, so on Friday, before I was getting a practice game in with Phil Donju, who, by the way, world's #1 ranked Mephisto player now. He's very excited about it. Congrats to him.
He got that badge.
Practice. He wanted it so bad. But we were playing a practice game before the Black Moon event on Saturday, where I also saw Jin. And it was his Legion of the Lost versus Weapon X, the list I actually ran at the Alive on One here. So it was Deadline to Destruction, and his Mephisto, Gorgon, and Man-Thing were all on the right flank, and they had just KO'd Hela. So it was only Laura over there completely on her own, X-23. And Phil has priority, Mephisto activates, does the how can I be of service? Luckily, no damage gets through. 2 Hellfire lashes, 6 die energy. No damage gets through. I use my last memory token. And then he does the Devil's Due, and he gets 4 of the 5 damage. Leaving her, she's injured, so perfectly alive on 1. And the dossier had dropped last round right next to her.
Oh boy.
So she picks it up, one-shots Man-Thing, frenzies over into Gorgon, who just flipped injured, clears him out in 1 adamantium slash. Picks up a red and sits there healing her too, and then Phil's only got a Dracula left to activate, and the game's over. We're at 13-12. Those moments can only happen in dice games.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
That is the most Alive on One thing that would happen. Yeah, shout out to X-23. She just goes off sometimes like that.
She sure do.
She is an angry woman.
I'm also kind of happy I don't see her as much anymore. I feel like she's not as popular in the meta because, man, she was obnoxious.
I mean, turns out she's still good, right? You just can't make her invincible with the exceptional healing anymore, but she still hits just like she hit before.
Yeah, she punches up.
Yeah, she certainly does. What about you, Jen? You got any 11-1 stories? I know you're just in a tournament.
Yeah. So to address Stephen Bork's complaint that I always talk about my good Alive on Ones. Okay, I will now give you a very bad Alive on One in that case. So at the tournament yesterday at Blackman Games, I played against Ryan B, and Ryan was running Charles, and I could not kill Charles for the life of me. There was a point where it was a really important activation where I think Amazing had an all webbed up turn or something like that, and he tried to get through for Charles Xavier's health points, but it left him alive on 1, which was really bad because he had priority. It was okay, all right, we just have to survive, but he had Cerebro still available to him, so I was very, very scared of that. So instead, he doesn't activate Charles first. So I was okay. Instead, he activates Wolverine, proceeds to one-shot my Shang-Chi with his Wolverine on his injured side. And I'm just
man.
No.
Man,
that doesn't happen.
No, this is real bad. It was don't worry, the Pierce won't do nothing. It's I'll just get 9 successes and just would paste you instead. So I was just oh, well, I guess that happened. Nice. All right, no problem. And then I looked at the rest of my activation, just I need everybody else to go last because they can move around and flip the Mcron points. So, okay, all right. I think I have to punch Charles with Wong, but I have power, so I should be able to do 1 damage, maybe? So I pay the tax, I punch with Wong, and it fails spectacularly. And I was like, well, I'll just do the 4 dice at this point. But he was like, I'm just going to keep cable shielding each one of these. I'm just like,
oh, man.
Cool.
Oh, man.
So yeah. So then it's like, are you done with Wong? It's like, yeah, I'm done with Wong. Okay. So then he puts on the cerebral helmet and proceeds to blow up Miles and everybody that I know and love. So
everybody I know and love.
So very well played by Ryan. He took the activations where he needed to make sure my options were limited.
Yeah.
In that case. So yeah. Yep. So there you go. Alive on 1 that did not work in my favor this time.
Yeah, it's not always one-sided, right?
Yeah.
No.
Perfect. Hobby catch-up. I just started on Dracula's Tomb. I wanted to paint that up, mainly to actually use it because I have it and it's massive. And then 2, I think I want to enter it in a Wicked Brush competition at Ironweld to actually put the monsters on it because they display on it nicely. I thought it'd be kind of nice and actually paint it myself.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a really cool terrain piece. Like I've seen it like used in the game like once, and I'm just like, we can try to work around this. It just looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it's not terrible in the game. You just have to remember that it's a small move to go onto it because it's a size 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty open at least. It's not like this weird, obnoxious. It's not a Quinjet, right? So like it's better than a Quinjet.
That's true. Yeah. Navigating the stairs was also a fun thing to try to do on that thing.
Yeah, I don't look forward to that. Also, the Asgard terrain. Have you guys put on that one yet? The new Asgard terrain?
I haven't. That one actually looks more playable, I think.
Less playable. There's a lot of slopiness on it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. I played on it at Adepticon, my last match in Worlds, and it was really challenging. It was like trying to balance a Namor on, and like, I don't want to break him. So it was a little challenging, but it's also massive. It's probably like twice the surface area as the tomb.
Oh,
yeah. It's like very near deployment. Like, this is very obnoxious to try to move around. Okay.
I feel that if we ever go to like AMG events, like, that's going to feature this type of terrain, we should probably actually just put like heavy washers in all of our bases.
That's a good idea. Oh, look at that. Look at the little metagaming you got right there. I'm going to weigh my model down so it stays on the terrain better.
Listen, I wanted to emulate the TTS experience of just being glued to whatever surface you put those guys on.
No matter how wild, right?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, like
great.
the what was it? One of the maps has got like the graveyard, right? And it's got the really deep like sloped roofs. I was like, yeah, I could bounce a guy on that, no problem. they're like hanging at like a 45-degree or so, like.
Like, I got this. My model weighs a pound. It'd be fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all good. No problem. No judge call there, right?
Yeah, right.
Nope.
What about you, Ryan? You got any hobby stuff? I know you won Best Painted on a Mummy at Crossroads back in February.
So I have to, full disclosure, that's actually not painted by me. I'm the assembler and the cleaner. That is painted by my fiance, Jared.
Good job giving credit.
Yeah, shout out to Jared. Yeah. Amazing paint job, by the way.
He got his first tournament win yesterday at the Black Moon Games.
Oh, did he? Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. He's gone to a couple ranked events and he's always, hasn't quite gotten it, but he finally captured his first one, so that was great.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But I'm currently working on assembling. We snagged a Claw Numbaku at Black Moons because they had it on discount, so that was nice. So I'm assembling them. And then we got the new Guardians 4-pack, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot. Mm-hmm. So building them up and trying to get them to at least, assembled and table ready, even if they're gray.
Yeah, Are you having fun putting Claw together? Because, man, that model was not very fun to build.
I only snipped him out this morning. Oof. I haven't started the cleaning and assembly yet, but I'm already looking forward to it.
He's not terrible, but he's not super easy to fit into his weird little chest of his other half thing, whatever it's called.
Yeah, his like doppelganger.
Yeah, like getting the leg to fit in there properly and hit the surface area or the contact point was really not super fun. So good luck with that.
Ooh. I'll do my best, and if I break it, I'll be sad and then fix it later.
I'll break it and I'll look at it and be like, I've not seen that model on the table ever.
Perfect.
Well, good. Jen, you got anything fun, new, hobby-wise?
So in preparation for the Black Moon terrain, Tony, the owner, asked, it's like, hey, can you bring like some terrain sets? Like, yeah, sure. How many do you need? It's like, we need like 2 tables. Like, actually, no, scratch that. We need 4 tables worth of terrain, actually.
Oh my god.
So I was like, okay. So I realized there was like 2 or 3 core sets that I had, like my core sets, and I just was scrambling like the night before, like build them. I think I was up until like 3 a.m. or so. So if I was like a little loopy for that tournament, like that was part of it.
I just thought that's how you always were. I didn't know.
I mean, this is partially because of the amount of plastic glue I probably inhaled in that interim as well.
It's good for your health, right?
Yeah. It's low odor. The box is low odor, so it's probably okay.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
But yeah, I built it gave me a reason to put together the terrain I've been putting together for like a long time. So now I have a bunch of terrain sets for tournaments, But I was fortunate enough that like a lot of people did bring terrain as well that was nicely painted and assembled.
Nice. That's the hard part right there.
Yeah, so thankfully most of the tables were covered with very nice looking terrain, and I actually ended up needing the terrain less that I built, which was good and bad, but it was nice that I had less stuff that I had to put away at the end of the tournament.
Yeah, and it's nice to have like the extras just in case. I always appreciate that when I ship an event and people brought all their stuff. I was like, oh, cool, I don't have to panic if like one table's really bad or something like that.
Yeah, it does help it feel like a community, when things like that happen. So it's like shout outs to everybody that came.
Yeah,
stuff.
Well, cool. Well, let's talk about that more actually. The Black Moons. I like that store, Black Moon Games. It's over is it Lebanon, New Hampshire? I think is the name.
West Lebanon. Yeah.
West Lebanon. That's close. The only problem is it's a haul from where I live because in Maine I have to go down into New Hampshire and then go back up. I can't just go straight west because it's basically like the same northernness. That's a word for me. But I have to go like all the way down to New Hampshire and back up. So it's like a 3.5 hour drive. But good event, had a good time. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would say so. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I had a great time. It was my first time to the store, and I really like it. A lot of the staff was very friendly. We were sharing the play space with Magic events because it was Dragons or whichever set came out this week.
Whatever the Storm of Dragons, Tarkar, I think, or something like that. Yeah,
Tarkir. But no, we had enough room, except the tables were a little close together. But we were also fitting 16 players into like half of their play space, so that's
that's tough.
And everyone was great about sharing space and finding space to put where everything needed to go.
So good.
Yep. Personal bubbles were close in proximity, but like everyone was very accommodating. Like no one threw a fit.
We're all tournament players. We're used to it, right?
Yeah. Listen, you get a little shoulder bump, a little butt bump. It's okay.
Yeah, it is
it's all friends here.
Just a little shared love, right? We're good.
It's all by accident and never intentional. I assure you.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys played 4 rounds too.
Yeah,
Nice.
no. So because there were 16 players, we actually did the full 4 rounds thing to get to a final winner. Actually.
Yep. There was 1 4-0 and 1 0-4.
Oh. Poor wooden spoon. Good. Yeah. More people should check them out because that is a really nice shop. It's just unfortunate how far away it is from me.
Yeah, Tony's been trying to get the Marvel events to fire there for a while, so it was nice that finally when it did fire, it was like a full bracket, so I think he was very happy.
Yeah.
About
how
that.
far away is it from Midgard? Do you know?
From Midgard? Well, I don't know exactly, but I live about 20 minutes from Midgard, and it was about an hour drive for me. Hour
That's
15.
not bad at all.
No, it's not bad.
Nice. You guys are in a good spot then, huh? Look at that. You got like multiple stores real close to you.
Yeah, it's nice.
Let's see. Now I'm kind of curious because we're now doing this in real time.
I know. It's like I got a computer for me. I guess I could look it up.
Yep. So, but yeah, no, the space was really nice. It was clean. Definitely, I'm excited to see them host more events like in the future.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good selection of stuff too. Sorry, Jen. I didn't mean to.
No. Go on. Yeah.
I mean, that is the joke on this podcast: is that everyone interrupts Jen by accident.
I didn't mean to, but I remembered it. They had like all the terrain that had been a little difficult to find, like the New York apartment building, the Apocalypse Shrine, like all of the Dark Future stuff. Actually,
I want that apartment building. I already have one, but I want a second one.
Oh,
it's there.
Well, I'm gonna have to make a phone call really quick at Racematics.
Because I want to build one where you don't build it all the way up. You leave it like shorter to the ground, so it's still a size 5, but it's not really obnoxiously tall to play off of. Yeah,
I like that idea.
Yeah, I stole it from Adepticon. I played on Table Adepticon with that. I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. So you're not like struggling to move your characters down from the tip top. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's jump in. I guess let's just talk about next events, right? We're talking about events. There's a couple ones coming up in this area, actually, which is really nice. If you want to go down to New Jersey, there is a Tri-State Area versus New England team tournament on April 26th at Red Seal Gaming. And I believe Will is also having a singles event next to that. John and myself, John's been on the podcast before. Actually, Matt Alex has been on the podcast before. I guess almost the entire New England team, except for Sean, I think, has been on the podcast. That's pretty cool. We're going down, playing a team event there to say who is the better area. Jen is awkwardly stuck in the middle between us, so he has to cheer for both of us. Is that how it works?
I think so, yeah. So it's mostly going to be Pork Roll Protocol guys you're going to be playing against, which is my affiliated team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, being a New Englander also means that, like, it's like I also have ties to you guys too. So it's really funny. Yeah. Where I am in.
Yeah, no, you're like you're the bridge between our communities. It's pretty funny.
It's like I just want somebody to win. Please, somebody win.
And it's 5 ties.
The worst you can do is tie, and then I'm just going to be upset.
Are you going to be there? Do you know?
I'll try to be. We'll see. I gotta like figure out the calendar.
Yeah, it's a little far away.
I would like to be there if I can.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
Usually it works out because like my SO has their best friend is like out in that area, so usually I can just make it a weekend trip just to
nice.
visit people and just go down at the same time. But we'll see. That depends if they're free, as well.
Yeah. Cool. Well then, yeah. Let us know if you get down there. We'll catch up.
Will do.
And then next one is May 10th, Crossroad Games up in Maine. We're going to do a Timelines event because obviously I won the Timeline event at Adepticon, and so everybody was very interested in it. So we decided to do a Timeline event. I already have like 8 people signed up pretty quickly for it, which I was surprised because, again, everyone at the beginning was always like, Timelines is really stupid. But now everyone's like, no, this actually seems kind of fun. It's like a little challenge to do. So if you want to play in a different, not standard challenger event, come back to Crossroads. We are not playing on E-maps. So that was the one change I made, is that we're going to have the new Crisis Challenger rotation that's legal right now. And we're not going back to like Gamma and Demons and Researcher because I'm very done with Researcher. I'm tired of playing on it. So we're not doing that anymore.
I would clap, but that would destroy the track here.
That would be really funny. And the weekend after that, I believe, so May 17th, Midgard's having a double tournament. So it's like the Adepticon team tournament, where it's there's 2 people on a team. Each person brings 7 characters, and then I think 3 tactics cards, or 4 tactics cards, 1 or 2. You do your normal mission routine, you flip over, you show your crisis, and then you add 4 threat to that crisis, and then you make teams based on the 2 teams you brought together, using 1 leader. And then each person on the team has to bring at least 11 threat. So it's a really fun, unique kind of team event where you kind of think about, what faction do I bring that maybe works with my opponent's or my teammates' faction, so we can actually make a roster together. So it's like maybe you don't want to bring Cabal and Spider Foes because I don't think there's a lot of crossover except for maybe Mysterio, stuff like that. So it does seem really cool. I unfortunately can't go, but it does sound really fun. Ryan, are you going to go to that?
I might be participating. I might be judging that event, so okay. I don't know.
Yeah, because spoilers, you can be a judge for Ironworld, right?
I am going to be a judge for Ironworld, so stop by and say hi if you're there.
Now you know who to bribe.
I am taking notes right now.
Ryan, I got a $20 bill here.
Perfect.
I'm happy Brian's not doing it alone, so he's got help.
No, I think it'll be me and one other helping him for Ironworld, and then we've got another person who will be joining us to judge for Everwinter too. Next Everwinter, obviously.
Yeah, because they're fancy GT events now from AMG. So you get a bunch of fancy price support. I guess we don't know actually how the price support works out. I'm really curious on what they're going to send Brian for price support.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I'm a little sad I don't get to play in the event, though.
Yeah.
Come and go.
I know. It's the life of a TO, unfortunately. Speaking of that, actually, I should have mentioned this. I believe, I'm going to have to count how many I have. I'm going to have yellow dice as prize support for our timeline event on May 10th up in Maine. That have extras from Adepticon. I don't know how much I'm giving out yet, but I have a couple extra I'm going to store up for this year to give out as needed.
Nice.
There you go.
Cool. Anybody else got any fun life event things that's kind of related, or do you want to jump into our main topic here?
Let's see. So, I guess I'll announce that for squad goals. One of my teammates had to drop, unfortunately, due to work conflict. But I have recruited, drumroll, Stephen Bork for our team. So this is the 2 out of 3 alive on 1 on this new revised Pork Protocol team catch-up at the moment.
Hell yeah.
So look forward to hijinks and whatever wacky zaniness this will bring about. But I'm excited that Steven's going on the strip, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh man, are you guys gonna drive out there together?
No, we'll fly.
We'll fly.
He's booked his flight already. I gotta book my flight still, but I'm just making sure we don't have roster conflicts with our third team member. So that's the thing we got to work out right now. So more to come on that.
I'm really looking forward to listening to that or hearing you guys talk about it, because that is one of it I think sounds super fucking fun. So I'm a little jealous, even though I did not have time to do it, but maybe next year.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe next year. I mean, like I think we should have more New England teams, honestly. That I think there's enough strong players. It's just that scheduling the time to travel and stuff is like is the only thing. Yeah.
Is it near an airport, or is it kind of like more urban area?
It's more urban, but being that I've gone to Chicago before, the public transport is actually like pretty good. Like there's a subway coming right out of the airport, so you can get to places like pretty easily.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's not too bad.
You can buy like a day pass for your trips, or you can buy the pass individually. Like it's pretty user friendly.
Nice. All right, cool. Because it sounds like a blast, and I think team tournaments are hella fun. I'm really sad that Ironweld's kind of not one right now, but I understand why.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll get reincorporated, and maybe there's some future events down the road. I don't know. I have some friends talking about stuff, but if they have actually hammered some stuff out, I'll let you guys know.
Hell yeah! And then WTC is also on my bucket list one day. I'll get out there too.
I haven't even gotten to play a team event yet, so I want to do that one of these days.
Dude. It's so much fun.
Would highly recommend. Yeah, WTC is definitely like the largest celebration of Marvel Crisis Protocol that I've seen. Like there's just something in the air that's just like really invigorating. It's like being there. It makes me feel inspired to play the game more,
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Sold.
Look at my ticket.
You should. I mean, they're still taking team signups, so you can get 5 people together. You should go.
Oh, tempting. Because I've heard it's not actually like, it's not horrifically, this is a huge tangent, but whatever. I've heard it's not horrifically expensive because it's like an inclusive con where like your meals are provided and stuff like that.
Correct.
So like, it's over the Atlantic, but it's actually not horrifically expensive.
Right. So once you pay for the plane ticket, you can basically go through the WTC like tournament package, and essentially you're covered for room and board for the 2 nights, and then the meals are covered for those 2 days basically. And then if you want to save a little bit longer before or after, there should be I think there's going to be a discount code this year, but don't quote me on that. I think the idea is that they'll just give people a discount code for that hotel if you want to try to stay, before or after the tournament as well.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, because Denmark itself, like Copenhagen, the city that's in, is really sweet. Like, it's like a whole different experience than what we're used to. Like, imagine a world where people don't lock up their bikes.
Oh, dream right there.
There's like a level of trust that people have with each other that I'm just like, I cannot believe life could be this way.
Hang on, I don't think I've ever heard that word before. What was it? Trust?
Too soon.
I know, sorry. Us salty New Englanders, we
All right, well, I guess before we jump forward, I have to, because Bork put a comment in here that we can't skip this part for a comic catch-up. I have not read any comics. I'm boring like that. I haven't caught up anything this week because I've been working too much. But Ryan, you looks like you read comics, right?
I do. I quite enjoy comics. This week, I specifically caught up on Absolute Wonder Woman. Its 5th issue just dropped. So that's absolutely a delight if you're a DC fan. Most of the Absolutes are really good. I'm reading the Ultimate on the Marvel side, but a little slower on that. I'm waiting for them to come out on trade. And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with the comic Something's Killing the Children.
No, I'm not.
It's a good horror comic, and they got the writer of that and the artist to do a Green Lantern book called Green Lantern Dark, which is kind of like a pseudo-apocalypse book and more of a horror setting type thing. Highly recommend.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Fantastic read.
So it's like a Green Lantern, almost horror kind of comic.
Yeah, like the premise is it's a post-apocalypse. All the heroes are gone. The entire world's like shrouded in darkness, except for one like young Green Lantern. And they kind of have this like dark traveler vibe going on. They carry like a cloak, and it's not a lantern ring. It's an actual stick with the lantern hanging from it. Like they're traveling in olden times, you know.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. I'll have to check that out.
Absolutely. Right. Highly recommend.
Nice. All right. Let's jump into Weapon X. The faction that I have never played against and never played. So I know like literally nothing about them. So I'm glad you're here, because I was like, I would have a hard time talking about these guys. So I love this. We have like an outline for our episodes, and I love the one. It's like, who are they? And it's like, I don't know. It's the dudes that have spiky stuff and they stab people, and then usually they have healing factors and they don't die. And then I was like, it's just Wolverine. Everyone knows who Wolverine is. That's all it is.
It's Wolverine and his many clones.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're all clones, yeah. And then unfortunately you have to buy that very large Weapon X bunker to get the cards to play it, which is a bit of a bummer, but at least it actually plays well as a train piece on the table.
It does. And it comes with 2 good models.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's also true.
And
a motorcycle.
Models. That's fun.
So yeah, Ryan, do you want to talk about, I'm going to kind of let you off the hook here a little bit. Talk about their leadership and then how they kind of want to play. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, so Weapon X's leadership is a tactics cards, and it takes up one of your 5, unfortunately. And basically how it works is after deployment, you pick any Laura Kinney or James Logan Howlett. Fun fact on that, you can pick Wolverine 1 to be your leader, even though he's not an affiliation. Random thing, just to let you know. But then the character starts gaining memory tokens. So they start the game with 3 memory tokens. And how those work is whenever an allied Weapon X character gets attacked, you can remove a memory token, and that character will gain 2 die on its defense roll. If they perfect block, if they take no damage, you get an aggressive advance small. And then you replenish the memory tokens when any allied character is dazed or KO'd by an enemy effect. And you're capped at 3.
What an interesting leadership. It's very different than a lot of the other ones. I guess the closest one I can think about is like the Nick Fury Jr. leadership when you're up, because it also gives you aggressive, but I feel like it's a pretty good ability to have on people that are probably want to be up in your face stabbing people.
Yeah, so it's really great on making a lot of your more fragile models tank a lot better. I specifically love it because you have Domino in affiliation, and a 5-die defense Domino can survive some things you do not think she can.
That's a good point, because she has a superpower where you don't get to roll crits onto her, correct?
Yeah, if you're attacking into her, your crits don't explode. So she can just basically tank much stronger models or much stronger die attacks between her being able to block it and turn her own skulls into crits.
Oh yeah, that's right, she does that too. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and she's also one of the best users because like she really appreciates that short move, right? To get into the range so she can use both actions to attack if possible.
Absolutely. It's great because in affiliation, you have 2 characters who both have that rapid fire at range 3. You have Domino and you have Maverick. So they can get into range to use their rapid fire triggers. Obviously, you have X-23 or any of the Wolverines who have to be in range 2, who love that aggressive movement off turn. And then you kind of get an upside and downside, because if you use a memory token and it doesn't produce and then the character dazes anyway, you get the memory token back.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point.
And one of my favorite parts about the leadership is it's worded so that it's an allied character. It doesn't state non-grunt.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good point. Ooh, okay, so well, I look at your list again. That makes sense, but we'll get to that eventually, why he's in there. Well, cool, yeah, and the only crummy thing that I know about is that, like, you can't, if your leader's dazed, you can't use this leadership. Is that right?
Yeah, so it specifically says you remove the memory token from the leader. So you
That's
can't
dumb.
do it when they're dazed. Yeah, it's a little rough. I kind of wish it was on the cards.
Yeah.
On the leadership card, more like Apocalypse's evolution tokens. But that can just kind of become a bit of playing around it and playing a little differently with your leader because they're more essential to that game plan than they are in other factions.
Is this usually on X23 then, or do you actually put it on Weapon X every once in a while?
I have only been using it on X23 myself. So Weapon X himself, he could be a good one, but you always want him to be very aggressive. And if you lose your leadership with that, it's not great. And on his healthy side, he loses defense die around secures. So the memory tokens don't even help with that. You're already going down to 2-1-2 essentially for him.
God. Yeah, so becoming a 4-3-4 is like, oh, cool, he's average now.
And you compare that to X23, who goes up to 5-5-4 with a defensive reroll.
Yeah. All right. That's a really good point.
So, yeah.
Are they? So yeah, it's basically, I know them as wide attrition. That's how I know this faction, where it's a bunch of little guys just trying to kill you. Would you agree? Do they still play like that? Because it's more of an outdated thought in my brain.
I think you could definitely play them that way. We can talk about this sort of throughout the podcast. The biggest thing I latched onto with the leadership is you only get 3 of those memory tokens, and they only work on Weapon X characters. So I started thinking, if I have a team of 5 Weapon X characters, I'm trying to spread out 3 memory tokens amongst 5 characters. And that's just, that math doesn't work out. You're always going to have attacks that start getting through. But if I keep my list short on affiliation, just have 3 Weapon X characters as the core, I can save the memory tokens for those characters and then pick people to support that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good point. Because you only can use those memory tokens so many times, so you kind of limit onto actual characters that need them, or not needs them, but can actually use them.
Right. Like if you're splashing anyone, they can't pop a memory token for any benefit. So not really helpful on that front, but then you're not doing the math of spreading it out.
God, could you imagine? Like, I feel like most leaderships let you do it on any character, even your splashes. It would be really cool if you could do this on just your any character you're playing. If you could add defense dice.
Oh yeah, Zemo 1 with 5/5/6 and one reroll seems great. Plus aggressive.
I guess that's probably why they don't have it like that.
Are you sure you want to see 6 defense Bill?
Yeah, 6 defense Beta Ray Bill, or don't forget any Web Warrior with their rerolls plus extra dice.
Okay, no, I don't want this anymore.
Okay. Darn, I was almost going to get 6 dice Master Spider Sense Parker.
Oh my god. All right, cool. I stand corrected. Well then, speaking of that, do you want to run through your list real quick actually then? And we can talk about your splashes and stuff you have in here?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to run down it or do you want me to and then like talk about each one, or how do you feel?
I guess I'll just run down it real quick and then we'll circle back because I do have a couple questions about some of them. So you run Domino, Maverick, Weapon X, X23, Dracula, Hood, Hela, Baron Zemo, which is the 3-threat one, Sandman, which is the one I was thinking I'll talk about now, that because he's got 2 grunts that you can activate to get your memory tokens back with. And then Werewolf by Night. And then real quickly, your tax cards are Thralls of Dracula. We'll talk about more of that in a second. Weapon Stash, I Should Want to Remember, which is the leadership. The Dossier, Call the Pack, Brace, Instant Recovery, Hood's Gang, I'm Baron and Indomitable. Then you play on Deadline to Destruction, Deadly Meteors, Imcran, Crystal. I feel like we see that crisis so much now. Hammers, Unexpected Wedding Gas, and Scientific Samples. So yeah, makes sense with Sandman. You get a bunch of grunts that activates, so it refunds your memory tokens a lot. I had a question here about Werewolf by Night, because I know we have a lot of healing factors in here. He loves instant recovery, or is he more for your Drac piece?
So Werewolf by Night is really for both. He can do the bleed if Dracula's there, and he does have the healing factor, as you said. Plus, as you know, I'm running instant recovery, so any model with healing factor gets a little bit of a bump because I have Maverick has healing factor, X23, Weapon X, Sandman, and Werewolf by Night all have it in this list.
I forgot Sandman had. That's true.
Yeah, he's got the one. He can bleed though. Don't know why that is, but that's fine.
Sand can bleed. All right. So then Domino, we've kind of touched on. Really good with the leadership. Survivable. She does a lot of damage. Weapon X, X-23 makes a lot of sense. Do you like Maverick? He's actually a character that I picked up to try out in S.H.I.E.L.D., even though I haven't actually tried that yet.
Maverick, I'm going to tell you then, Maverick has been the sleeper hit of this list where I am turned on to this model incredibly. He just does so much for you as a piece. His biggest downside is that he's 3/3/3 with 5 health. So he's not particularly durable. But his kit, it just has so much utility and so many different things he can do. Between his rapid fire plasma blasters are an energy attack. Great. He has his knife, which can bleed, helps Dracula, to be honest. Never used that attack once yet. His spender is pretty good. It's a range 3, 7-die energy for 3 power, and on a wild, you throw a size 3 or less away.
Everyone loves a throw.
So, nice utility there. He's got a hit and run, which is great when you have that rapid fire, do your double tap, back out, get out of dodge. And then his 2 biggest tech pieces that a lot of people either don't catch or I get a lot of utility out of is he can pay 2 to prevent any healing of enemies within 3 of him.
How often has that come up for you? Because that was one thing when I first read his card, I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. But I wasn't sure how much it would actually come up. But how much does it actually come up for you?
So it came up yesterday again in the Black Moon tournament. I played against a Webs player who used Aunt May's wheat cakes, and I had 4 power, so I denied 2 of the healing from that. Just like, no, I don't need you getting more health. I've done a lot of work here. In the final round of Alive on 1, I played against S.H.I.E.L.D., and they used their, Battlefield Medicine?
Yep.
And I managed to negate that with Maverick, too.
Ooh.
So it's not an every game thing, but when it does come up, it can be backbreaking. I almost had a game where it stopped an Immortal Hulk from removing all his damage after Green Door.
Oh, that would have been great.
And then he just KOs again.
Immortal Hulk was actually one of the guys that, when I first looked at Maverick, I was like, ooh, because I have local players that always like to try to patch up Immortal Hulk after he flips, and I hate it. So I was like, it'd be kind of nice to have. Do you feel like his power, it's 2 power, so do you feel like because he has a rapid fire gainer, is his power economy pretty good, or are you struggling to pay that 2 power sometimes?
So his power economy is pretty good. The other thing he has is when he takes physical damage, he gets 1 power and an omnidirectional advance. So he can actually generate a lot of power quickly if he's taking chip damage from impact webbing or other kind of low dice attacks, unless they spike, of course. And that omnidirectional advance can help him if he's getting pushed or depositioned or things like that to kind of move back onto the point or retreat out of range of getting double tapped.
Yeah, I think I should try him. The splash 3-threat and shield is always a little challenging because there's so many things I want to put in there. Like right now it's Mummy, who's just a really good 3-threat in general. So I do want to try out Maverick because I like the rapid fire energy attack quite a lot.
Yeah, he ends up being really mobile. If there's a map that you need to rotate quite a bit on, he actually is a really good piece on that, I think.
I would agree with you.
It's true.
All right, well, good. I'm happy you hear. I can't talk. I'm happy to hear that you actually like him and you do use him. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, I think his only drawback is he's only Weapon X.
Yeah,
so that's true. He's a splash everywhere.
Yeah. And speaking of splashes, Hela, is she in here because you are funding memory tokens, so you're also funding her soul tokens, or do you have her for another reason?
So the idea kind of started coming together of if I get memory tokens back when I daze, I want to start maximizing on what happens when you daze my characters or anything. And Hela has whenever anybody dazes, it doesn't matter for what reason, she gets a soul token. So that was the initial thought. And then when I added Sandman, I sort of remembered that when he teleports or he moves out of range of his grunts, they KO him themselves. So they give Hela soul tokens.
Okay, so you can kind of force it with Sandman. Be like, hey, I'm going to go and make these actually activate. Do you do that often, or do you just let your opponent kill stuff?
I have killed more of my own sand grunts than I think my opponents do. I find Sandman very mobile once he has that 3 power, because it's so he can put his grunts within 3 of himself, and then he can place within 1 of them. He's a medium base with a range 2 and a range 3 attack. So he can actually cross an entire board pretty quickly when he needs to.
Okay.
And then if you left your other grunt behind, it dies and Hela picks up her 3rd soul.
All right. So what you're telling me is that my teammate John wants to put Sandman in a list. I shouldn't just make fun of him?
I got into this game because of the Sandman box, and I started with Spider Foes.
All right.
I love Sandman. He is quite good. He has omni-sized pushes on him and his grunt.
That's true, he does. All right.
Yeah, I think the Sandman hate is very unfounded. Like, he's fast and he can displace a ton of people, like, at the end of the day. And sometimes, yeah, he does punch your ticket out and you just die.
It's hilarious to throw the, like, 12 die punch your ticket when they're not ready for it.
All right. Maybe I'll try him too. Not in Shield, but I do play a fair amount of Spider Foes here and there.
Well, you know, Maddox, you can't have more than 1 grunt. You know that, right?
I guess I could go Namor Shield with Sandman, even though I don't think I would ever do that.
I don't know if that would be as good.
Because I would just bring Red Skull 2 in that situation.
I was going to say, like, you have two fists. You can always, like, make sure everyone has their skulls unlocked, you know?
That's true, yeah.
True.
Everyone's got the rerolls.
And the grunts don't suffer collision damage, so they're great for blocking pouncers.
Oh, yeah. Back when Thor 2 was a big problem.
I mean, there are other pouncers.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
caught a Black Panther or 2 here.
There's that Sabertooth Apex Predator that came in that Weapon X box.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he comes back around at some point.
It's true. So yeah, and that's like Sandman and Hela plus Maverick, Domino, and X-23 is a pretty common 17 for this list.
Gotcha. No, it feels pretty good. Yeah, I do like that. That's a cool idea, actually. That's a cool like list building idea that you had, where it's like, hey, I can maximize my leadership, and then Hela's in there because it's kind of the same thing. And then I was cool with the Sandman guns. I had not caught that interaction.
Yeah, no, I actually have to give a bit of credit to Jared there, just on the way home, because I was playing a practice game and I'm like, I need another 4th rep for this list, but I don't know who's going to do it. And he's just like, you love Sandman. And then he just starts chanting Sandman the whole drive home. And I'm like, let's go.
All right, so I was going to ask, though, it's like, why not Mummy? He also has soul tokens.
So Jin was talking to me about this last night and probably sold me on it.
Yeah, dude, he's good.
He's quite good. I think at the time I was looking for kind of some options, and I had put in Hood because I like the idea of having all of the rapid fires, because Hood has the Mystic rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
And having some of the healing, and he causes bleed on your ally, and I was looking for bleed synergies in the list as well as the dazing synergies. Because Dracula's here, and that seems good for Dracula.
Yeah.
And I think I just overlooked Mummy because of that, but at the Alive on 1 tournament, I did not take Baron Zemo for any game. I didn't take Hood for any game. I took everyone else. Those 2 never made it to the table.
Gotcha. So you have options there. And if anything, we play in the Northeast with a lot of Webs players. Jen is one of them. And I do like Mummy into Webs because that range 4 missing attack. You have Hela, so you're not like, oh, I need this, but could be a nice little flex there. And then also that guy just does not fucking die. Mummy is stupid.
Well, he already died. That's why.
That's true, yeah. He can't die again.
He's built immunity to death by dying.
Yeah, he's just, you already killed me once. What are you gonna do? I'm still here.
Yeah, but to go back, it's, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Because the reasons you point out that Hela is a death engine, right? Because your leadership operates on things dying. She also operates on things dying. So why not just maximize that, right? Because death is inevitable in this list.
True.
Whether it's me or you, somebody's dying today.
We're getting tokens, baby, all the time.
But yeah, I think I'm sold on that. So I think I've been looking that I'm going to drop Hood out of the list and probably bring in Mummy and try that out. And I'm actually excited about a couple of the 5 threats that were spoiled at Adapticon because I think they might replace Werewolf by Night or Dracula.
Oh, okay. So I was going to talk Dracula next. He's in there. I'm assuming he's in there because you splash into his leadership sometimes, or is he in there just because he's a 5 threat that kills people?
He's a 5 threat that kills people. Yeah. I haven't used his leadership once. Gotcha. I probably should. But he was in there for sort of, as you said, so X-23 does a lot of bleed, and then I was thinking, like, well, if she's going to be in every game, she puts out bleed, this is a pretty nice synergy with it. And then Hela, on her spender, if you're already bleeding, the opponent doesn't get to count wilds in their blocks. So that's another layer of that bleed synergy. That's why Zemo actually got in. I wasn't looking at him at first, but both of his attacks bleed, and everyone's just like, why don't you add Zemo? And I'm like, because I don't want to, but I guess I will.
You do what you want. Don't listen to people.
He's done work. I can't lie, so I just accept it. And then Werewolf by Night was another kind of big 5 threat who did the bleed, and he's got the healing factor and all those sorts of support pieces. But, I'm honestly open to Dracula switching out if I could get someone else with a nice healing factor who did some other things, like Exodus was the big one I was excited about for that specific purpose. And he's also all Mystic, which I don't do normally. And then Spider-Man 2099 also has healing factor.
That's true. He does. Yeah. He just punch people a lot. And then you make Jen happy. Actually, I don't know, Jen. Do you like Spider-Man 2099? We haven't talked about it.
Spider-Man 2099 looks like a badass, and everyone should be afraid. Everyone that thinks that this character is bad, I think, has a screw loose. I'll take it.
Yeah, I feel like he can mess your day up quite easily.
Yeah, he's got a lot of play patterns. They're all like pretty incredible. Now, the thing is, like, he's not a great person that runs away, but that's okay though, because you have the rest of your team that can do that. If he needs to be the guy that is in the mix.
Yep,
he's a good mixer.
So you're telling me he should be in the list of aggressive Wolverine clones?
Listen, he's got healing factor and appears like he's in the club.
Yeah, he heals on his builder, so he's right in there. Let's go.
He also has healing factor 1 too, right? So like,
yes, and instant recovery can target him.
Yep, it's good. Turns out.
I know. I love that card. Everyone's like, "This card sucks." He's like, "No, it's just you're used to exceptional healing being broken." This card's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a card that was objectively too good getting brought down to mortal. And I gotta admit, I was pretty sour on it too before I played this list, where I had so many characters who are constantly healing factoring too. I think if you have like 1 or 2 characters, maybe it's not worth it. But when you've got 4 or 5, you're always going to find a target for it.
You're going to have the saturation of choices right there. All right, well, that's... So you've talked about other 5s. Anything else in this list that you think you've thought about switching? Or is it, hey, you're pretty happy with it from the start?
So I think the last switch I'm going to do is probably trade out... I keep waffling on it, but I think I might switch out Weapon X himself for Sabretooth, the Apex Predator one.
Oh, okay. I was like, ooh, spicy.
No. I still need 4 affiliated models. I only have so many. I think just having the flexibility to get a 4-thread in faction and both, like, I haven't gotten to play with either of them yet, really testing it in this list. Sabretooth Apex or Logan the Wolverine. But considering I want to keep X-23 as the leader, I think it'll probably be Sabretooth to kind of go up, get into the mix, and be able to tank hits, because he's 4-3-4. So with memory tokens, you're looking at 6-5-6.
Pretty good.
That's a tanky boy.
Yeah. Each pound.
I will say, though, if you're planning to get rid of Weapon X, which I don't think you should, but if you do, though, why not take Logan instead? Because my argument with that is that Sabretooth, for his kit to get going, he needs a ton of power. So he's really relying on the builder, and it's just a 5 dice builder. It's got Pierce, but at the day, it's kind of hard for it to generate power, I think. Whereas Logan, like, he can sort of start using his kit like immediately. There isn't much like you need to set up or build up to,
That's true. I think it's the mobility. Well, they both actually have a lot of mobility.
Mhm.
Like I said, I haven't played with either. I was thinking of it in context of also, I play the dossier card a lot. So you say it's a 5 die. If he gets his hands on the dossier, it's a 7 die, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, both of them can chase down the dossier because, Wolverine is hilarious because he can use other people to launch himself with because
oh yeah, I saw that card.
yeah, the superpower that he has, get a throw after the attack, it's the same timing as his teleport. So you can choose to throw then teleport.
Oh god,
awesome!
Yeah, so you imagine it's thematically right. He's like stabbing someone, like glide them across the ground, and he gets off of them.
That's great. Also, he's stun immune, and I feel like we see a lot of Mayor Fisk in this meta right now. And so he might be a nice pick there.
That's true. I think. Does he bleed on his builder though? Because I think only Sabretooth bled on the builder. I thought Logan just had the pierce.
No, yeah,
right?
he just has pierce.
So okay. I will say that Logan does bleed on his spender though, Ryan. And it's a very good spender because it's a beam spender. Mm-hmm. And also keep in mind that when he's outside of 3, he also gets rerolls on top of that.
That's true.
And he's also healing factor too. So although he has less HP than Sabretooth, it feels worse when they only do a couple damage to him because he's basically essentially back to full life again as well. So this is me just trying to pitch you on Logan if you're really thinking about getting rid of Weapon X, which I don't think you should do because he's really good. Yeah, but that's my personal bias.
I really like Weapon X as a model. My biggest issue, even with memory tokens, is that I've had a lot of games where when he folds and he goes down, he KOs, that explosion has cost me more than the opponents because my models are pretty low HP. And even with healing factor, it can be like, oh, I survived on 1 health. And then he explodes and dazes Maverick and Domino. And I know I can probably position better, but he gets tossed around. He gets into a bad spot, especially if my opponent knows how to capitalize on that.
That's fair.
So that's why I was thinking of trading up and maybe just having a bit of a tankier Weapon X character, either Logan or Sabretooth. I'll have to try both and see who manifests their way into the list harder.
For sure, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, both are worth trying out. They're both solid 4 threats. It's just that it depends on your I guess do you want to shoot for the stars or do you want something very consistent? Because obviously Sabretooth's ceiling is it's quite high. Once he gets the power. Yeah.
And Logan, the other thing to consider there is Logan could actually be the leader if I didn't want to give it to Laura. So
that's true, and he's a little bit tankier. He's not going to just die like Weapon X.
Yeah, I would never put the leadership if you're playing Weapon X. Do not put it on him. That is mistake.
You're a very you live life on the edge is what I'll say.
You are very aggressive.
All right. So yeah, that's the list. I'm trying to think of it makes sense to me. It makes sense you haven't splashed into Drac because you're like, hey, I'm playing Weapon X. What are you about to say? Sorry.
I want to know that. So typically in your games, though, Ryan, have you been finding that you've been scoring out by a certain turn usually, or do you end up tabling people, or what's the typical timing of the winning of this team?
Yeah, so I would like to say this team can do both, but typically I like it when games score quickly. So I guess the best play pattern is you want to get up on points and then turn up your aggression to start putting them behind. If that makes sense.
Okay, so would it be let's say it's 8 points available, you get 4 points, they get 4 points. Okay, now your job is once everyone's got their solid scoring pacing, you then go ahead and start denying their points scoring, right? And then ride out the game? Yeah,
so you start... I try to use it as instead of just general attrition for the team, I try to use the 3 threats, depending on the game, but the core Weapon X there will try to prioritize the key pieces of my opponent's plan to break their scoring habits or break their scoring or basically take out a key member of their plan so they can't turn around and crack me off the board, right? And if that plan fails and I go down on points, Well, all my characters are loaded up on power. I've got memory tokens, and they're all angry. So I guess I'm going attrition and seeing if I can put you down.
That makes sense. Yeah. So you flip the intensity of the attrition depending if you need it to be more surgical or just like a tidal wave to try to like to get back momentum.
Yeah, I typically like to see a game end around turn 4. If I'm going past that, I've had a lot of cases where that's kind of been the death knell for the list of I'm just too burned on resources, or Laura's gone down and I've lost the leadership, and that starts to make my life very difficult.
Yeah, I would agree. Like playing webs, like that's probably about where I want to be. Like if I don't win the game by round 4, I feel like the game is going to be pretty heavily in my opponent's favor by then.
Yeah, and this list can come back from it, but at that point, you're completely leaning into, I hope the dice are with me today, because I need to stab very hard.
Some days you just need those dice.
But yeah, I would say my favorite part of this list from playing MCP is that you have the 2 elements of the game. You have the objectives and scoring, and you have attrition. And I found that this list can always kind of pivot to keep up with whatever they're facing to try and do it. Maybe I won't score as well as webs, but my aggression is enough that I might be able to put down webs faster than some other factions with all the pierce and bleed and incidental damage coming in.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I won't out attrition Apocalypse or, Asgard, but if I can daze some of the key models at key moments, so like Loki doesn't get to lay into me or Thor 2 doesn't get to lay into me, I can outscore them quickly and run away using the high mobility of a lot of the models.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Are you afraid of like Hulks or like gladiators or big kaijus, or do you feel like, hey, I can still just chip them away?
I'm not necessarily worried about them. I mean, if you put the dossier on them, I'm very excited about them because they are going to have a terrible time when Laura gets into them. Or Logan or Sabretooth, whoever is it at the time. But no, I haven't had a problem. I actually played a gladiator in the event yesterday, and it was fine. Like, the memory tokens can, again, make it so Domino survives the 6 or 7 die builder and they don't get any damage through and they don't get their triggers. And then it's, well, not their triggers, but they don't get damage, they don't get power. Mm-hmm. And that's great. You're denying the power economy through the use of this defense. Mm-hmm. And then you advance in on them. Makes
sense. I guess we should also say, because we talk about the dossier quite a bit, what does that card do, just for listeners? Because I know it's not like a commonly seen one. Do you want to do a brief recap what it does?
Yeah, so Dossier is a Weapon X faction card, and it's only for Logan the Wolverine, Sabretooth Apex Predator, or X-23 specifically. Mm. So after deployment, you give your opponent the Dossier, and they have to put it on one of their characters. And then you assign it to a character. So let's say X-23 for the sake of it, because that's usually what I use. Mm-hmm. X-23 gets a superpower where if she's attacking the character holding the dossier, she gets full rerolls on all attacks, including skulls. It's basically the arch enemy for like Green Goblin or Carnage, that kind of thing. Because she also has to attack them if she starts within 2 of the character holding the dossier.
Gotcha. Okay, so just kind of focus onto it.
Yeah. Once it drops, it's an asset token like anything else. If your opponent picks it up again, Laura still has that power, so it's great. But if a Weapon X character picks it up, it increases their movement speed to long, and it gives them 2 extra attack die on all attacks.
Gotcha. So, like, is it like, when you give it to your opponent, they put it on one of their characters, do you just, like, you make it work? Or are there, like, certain situations where, like, I really hope they don't put it on this, or we don't put it on that? Or is it kind of just depend on the board state?
I think for the most part, it depends on who you're playing into, but no matter what my favorite part of Dossier is it forces the opponent to have to play differently with a model that they might not want to. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, like, your first instinct might be put it on someone tanky, let's say like Colossus or Beta Ray Bill, right? But do you want X-23 to have full rerolls into your tank? That's not necessarily going to be great for you, even if you pay to reduce by 1.
Mm-hmm. Solid point.
there are definitely some models who can shut down dossier though. The big ones I've run into are Medusa, because you can't modify attack rolls.
Ooh, okay, good point. Mm-hmm.
Basically, any character who says you can't modify attack rolls. So I think that's Medusa, Angela, Black Cat. Though Black Cat, I'm okay if you put the dossier on. I can probably get it off her anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who was the other one? Oh, Black Panther Chosen of Bost has that too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Mephisto, I have learned, is pretty bad for that because he just keeps teleporting other people in the way.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. So definitely, you can kind of get screwed a little bit depending on the list.
Yeah, but even then, it can come up as like I had a game against X-Force recently where they put it on Cable, and they were also running Colossus, and they played their whole game keeping Cable and Colossus next to each other to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had Laura go off and do other things.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She can still do work even if she never gets her hands on the dossier. And if someone else knocks it out and happens to get it, like Maverick having 6-die rapid-fire plasma blasters and a long move hit and run is fine by me.
Yeah. And then you have, like, your opponent has 9 threat versus models just kind of sitting on the side by them, like, together kind of thing.
Yeah, you might force them to play a little more cautious or a little more scared, which can help when a lot of my models have, 3/3/3 and 5 health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That's a cool tactics card too. I love little. I don't know if I'll say I love, but the ones that are like little mind games, I think are cool to have in this game. Even though I hate when a Mephisto player hands me that card and I have to read it, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to make this choice.
Make a choice, yeah. It's great. Yeah, changing opponent's behavior is a sign of a very interesting tactics card. I think
it's a fun mini game.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And it can't be assigned to grunts, so that's great. Your opponent can't put it on shield agents and just have them drop it wherever they want. No.
They can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. So the ruling is that you can't assign tactics cards things to your own grunts. Okay. But the opponent, if you're targeting an opponent's like character, you can target their grunts.
I thought they couldn't be a target of a tactics card, period.
Nope. It's just for your own allied effects. So,
well, okay.
So that is, I was going to bring this up, Ryan, if you ever encountered someone that put the dossier on the grunts, because that is actually allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
It's like Eye in the Sky. You can technically Eye in the Sky the grunts because you're not targeting the grunts. You're Nick Fury's targeting the grunts. It's a little weird little like
it's very nuanced like language on that, which I wish that was more intuitive, but unfortunately it's not.
Yeah,
the best one is like the ninjas, because like most of the ninjas don't really do much, so they just run away.
It's true. Yeah, so that's actually a good thing to know, because as I had understood it, it was you couldn't target them with grunts. But even then, it's kind of fine, because like if you put it on grunts, they're not hard to take down.
Yeah,
and that can be a
you get full rerolls into my grunts with 2 health. Oh no.
But you can just use someone else to take it out and maybe get your hands on the dossier after that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, the funniest thing is when I saw like a Shadowlands Daredevil player, like he got the dossier on his grunts and he just ran the guys to the corner, basically. I was just like, you can get the dossier, but you're out of the game for the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, you're not doing anything at that point. But that also means the grunts aren't doing anything, like taking objectives, so...
Correct, yeah. I mean, that would definitely put Nick Fury in a bind, because he needs his grunts to do everything,
Yeah, but he does.
Right. All right. See, you still learn things.
We learn something every day. All right, so next thing is learning curve. How easy is this faction to pick up? To me, I don't think they're super easy to pick up. I think there's a lot of nuance in this list. A lot of nuance in the playstyle probably too. Like, when do you actually use your memory tokens? Do you agree, or do you feel like, hey, no, anybody can pick this up and go crazy with it?
It's hard because I've been running it like purely for like the past month and a half. I would say it definitely takes some getting used to. So there's, to your point, you have to know when you want to use the memory tokens or not. I actually had a game yesterday. Maverick got shot by Cable, range 5. I didn't use a memory token, and of course he just takes 6 damage and rolls over because, the one time I didn't use a memory token.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
it can feel pretty easy to start. I think the hardest part about the list is actually learning how to keep your leader kind of safe because of the way the memory tokens interact. You can't just run Laura up the gut and hope she survives. That shuts off your memory tokens, and then you're not getting it for Domino and Maverick or whoever else you want to run there. And they just kind of run out of gas and they'll get pasted. They're 3 threats, 3-3-5. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. They're not like super, but they seem fun at the same time. So like, I feel like if you're interested in it, you should probably play it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would say like intermediate to advanced. If you're having me put it as like a skill gate, I don't want to pretend I'm like super smart at this game and I know everything, but they're I mean, I just got it wrong on the grunts, so there we go. They are, it can be tricky to manage your memory token generation and actually keep in mind what you're wanting to do, and then remembering you only get memories if enemy affects, daze, or KOs your model. So not when Sandman teleports or anything like that, but Hela still gets her souls, or like Mummy. There's a lot of maintenance to that, of keeping track of when you get souls and when you don't, and your triggers. And especially the aggressive move on the perfect blocks of the memory tokens. Gotcha. Do I need to move off a point, or can I take the aggressive here?
Interesting, yeah. Well, thanks for coming on and talk about this, actually, because this is such a faction. It's like, to me, it's such a little like dark horse faction I never see, that I honestly forget they're there. It's actually kind of nice to talk about them.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I think because they're stuck in that bunker, and unless you're, I mean, you could always just print out the leadership card and try it for yourself.
Yeah.
But there are also not a lot of models. I think it's the 4 I have: Logan, the Wolverine, Sabretooth, Apex Predator, and Honey Badger. So you're only looking at like 7.
Is Deadpool on there or no?
No,
Deadpool is.
He's in there.
Yeah, I missed him.
Yeah.
I don't own him yet, so keeps being a blank spot in my mind. But he's also in there.
Yeah, I got to mess around with Weapon X for a little bit, and I actually really like Deadpool because he does fulfill a long-range attacker niche, which isn't really, fulfilled by the other characters like in this list. I know that Domino can throw grenades, but that's essentially a spender, right? At the end of the day. And he can do it and also have that range to teleport. And the fact that he can turn off bodyguards by using the Merc of the Mouth. Like, I find a lot of his tech to be very, very interesting. Also, as a Web Warriors player, I can't pull him with Gwen. It's really annoying.
Maybe he replaces Weapon X.
Yeah, there you go. Deadpool.
Maybe it's Deadpool instead when I get my hands on him. Who doesn't love him with healing factor, 2 or 3 and memory tokens?
Yeah, exactly. So he's an interesting one too. Like, I know he was on the list, but like, I think you're not gonna be like in a bad spot to put him in.
Yeah, and some of this is dictated by what I own and what I don't. Right? Like, I just haven't picked up a Deadpool yet. So
you don't want that taco truck?
I mean, I do, but I only have so much money at a time.
That's fair.
I had to get the bunker, Steven.
You're right. That's true. Money for that.
The bunker does put you in debt for a bit.
I actually got it at the Standish main store.
Oh, did you really? That's funny.
No, wait. Nope. That's where I got my Wakanda pack. My bad.
Gotcha.
My memory failed.
Needed more tokens. Please insert.
I do. I need more tokens. But yeah, I find it very fun, and as a play style, I like being able to switch between that, and I think Weapon X is a blast. I think the easy trap with them, though, is if you go too wide in just in-faction characters, you're going to find you're always out of memory tokens when you need them, and while you may be a very punchy and attrition-y lot of characters, you're not going to stand up if they really want to put you down, and you put yourselves into those bad fights. You want to play more like a skirmisher than a brawler.
It's kind of like how Borg plays Defenders, actually. It's very similar. So maybe he would actually like Weapon X quite a bit. But let's be real, we're not getting that guy off the Apocalypse anytime soon.
Nope.
Not chance in hell.
Well, there's always that Jet GPT Weapon X list we did for that episode, that Nick made.
Oh, God.
That's right.
Oh, God. What is this?
I have to dig that guy back up, yeah.
Yep. I did play an Apocalypse player who put the dossier on Apocalypse, and that was an interesting game to play around.
Ooh, that is very gutsy.
Yeah, no joke.
It almost paid off until it didn't, right? It's like he survived Laura, he survived Maverick trying to put him down, and then, of course, it was Domino with the anti-crit tech. I think I'm going to put the big man down. And then she got the dossier, and that's what you want on Domino. 6-die rapid fire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that sounds dirty.
Oh, that's so gross.
Or a 6-die grenade bounce. That's also pretty good.
It's the fact that you can't crit yourself, but she can with like 2 ways, and that's it's so good.
It's incredibly good.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, did we feel like we missed anything talking about Weapon X or your time at the charity event or anything like that?
No, I think it was great. I do want to give a shout out to 2 of my locals who helped a lot, Matt Finney and Pinwei Chang. They helped me practice the list and kind of hone it in. So big shout out and thank you to those guys. And of course, all the Ravens of Midgard, because that's where I play. So, but thank you guys again for hosting the charity event. It was a great time, and I was very happy this list did anything. It was only built about a week before the event.
Nice, man.
So this was I really hope this crazy idea pans out moment.
Yeah.
And it went 3-1 yesterday, so that was also pretty good.
Still running hot.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Just lost to Phil.
I mean, yeah, Phil's a pretty good player, so don't ever feel bad about losing to Phil.
Listen, we had to help him get his badge. That's just what it is at the end of the day.
We did. My favorite part of that is he got it off the back of, I don't want to say like off the back, but his first 3 matches were with locals from Midgard. So it's like you drove an hour and 20 minutes to play me, Matt Alex, and Eric, who's also from our store.
Listen, Phil just deals in suffering, for friends and foes alike, all right? It's very appropriate.
It's true. It's true. He is the Lord of Temptation. That's what Longshanks tells me.
That's true.
Hey.
All right. Then I think, unless Jen, do you have any other last-minute thoughts about Weapon X?
Oh, man. Okay, all right. So if we can just, before we sign off, I have 2 questions as far as tactics cards goes.
Mm-hmm.
You just tell me an instance where you use one of these cards.
Sure.
When do you use Call of the Pack? And when do you use Hood's Gang?
So,
sorry. Not Hood's Gates. I'm sorry. Weapon Stash. Is that every time you take Maverick card? I mixed up the card names.
Oh, gotcha. Weapon Stash is not an every time I take Maverick card. I tend to take it on missions where I tend to take it on more spread out missions. So where Maverick or my characters might be stranded and stuck holding a point on their own, because the way it's worded, they get cover as long as they're within 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can pick it up for extra die. So it's great flexibility for that. And it's only 3 power on Maverick, which, a turn, a move, a rapid fire, he's there. And it's not during his activation or anything. It's just Maverick plays this and puts that down.
Oh,
so
true. Yeah.
That's pretty great for that just kind of, okay, we need cover early. Let's pick up a point. And, okay, I need to attack now. Let's pick it up and get 2 extra dice on this next attack and hope that's going to tilt the odds in my favor. If I see a lot of high threat models, like 2 5 threats or something like that, it's kind of great to have that in the back pocket to hopefully tank a little more damage.
That sounds good. So yeah, that and then Call of the Pack. I keep trying to take Call of the Pack, but never makes it to my 5. So have any stories where you've actually used it?
I have taken Call the Pack once, and it was okay. I know, a ringing endorsement, right?
This is the best card in the game.
So the one time I used it, it ended up working out, but it was kind of using 2 tactics cards for the 1 effect. So someone took an attack, I used instant recovery, and then it just says when they remove damage from themselves, you can spend 2 power to call the pack, right?
Yeah.
So that let everyone else advance in, which let Domino and Maverick get into rapid fire range because they were trying to lay into Laura so she wouldn't be able to, keep using the leadership. And then, I activated and Domino managed to like daze that character and kind of scare off more of the aggression because Maverick was also in range. But it has a hard time fitting it in when a lot of times I'm already taking Brace and Indomitable. Instant recovery is almost an every time card at this point for the list. So I'm really only playing with 2 spots at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be pretty tricky. Like if I take Zemo, I want to take I Am a Baron after all.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to take... and I have my leadership card. So
it's
I'm
really
at 4.
just one slot.
Yeah, it's really just one. Let me correct myself.
You're like me with Shield, where it's like, oh, this is really obnoxious.
Yeah, I think I take it when I don't take Dossier. So, maybe going forwards, if I'm playing into Shield, I won't take Dossier because of the grunts or because of or if I'm playing into Inhumans and Medusa, I might switch that out for Call to Pack and see if that's doing work for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. I'm right there with you, Ryan. I think I agree that it's like that 6 card. Like it has to be a very specific situation, like when you want to use it,
Yeah, I think you actually just gave it more uses with the Dossier thing.
So there you go.
But yeah, I'm going to keep testing this list. I quite enjoy it. And, I'm sure it'll go through iteration after iteration.
Yeah.
So
you're like me. Yep. Just keep playing the same thing over and over again.
Yep. I do have one thing to plug, Maddox, if I can.
Plug away.
So by the time this podcast episode comes out, the next Red Room training video will be out.
Hell
actually.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we'll be talking about score pacing and about extract map layouts and how you sort of evaluate those layouts, basically. And hopefully the next one afterwards will be about secures as well afterwards. But hopefully the first episode of that 2-parter should be out by the time you listen to this podcast.
I've really been enjoying this.
Thank you. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it yet, please, go to RSMP Tabletop and give it a look, if you can.
Yeah.
Definitely will. Yeah, they were very helpful. So
the deployment one especially super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's such an interesting baseline that I wish more people realize. So I'm happy to just put that out there, and hopefully it helps you guys, feel better about your games at the end of the day. Yeah. So if it is, it's doing its job.
Good. What about you, Ryan? You got anything to plug or anywhere you want people to find you, anything like that?
I play at Midgard most of the time. That's a comic store in Derry, so definitely want to plug them. And past that, I will, like I said, be at Ironweld. I'll be helping judge the event, so definitely want to see anyone who's there. Please feel free to say hi, and if you want to pick up a game, I'll be happy to be there. Otherwise, I don't have much of an online presence there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Normal guy.
Normal dude playing Weapon X. Then, like always, you can follow us at AliveOn1 on Instagram. We're on Facebook as well now. Please join the Discord. Link will be below in the description. That's probably one of my favorite things actually about this podcast is how active that community has gotten. That's always really fun. You can email us at aliveon1@gmail.com. Bork is desperately waiting for more inappropriate model conversions if you want to email him those or send him another apocalypse. You can find Jen at RSMP, or Running Scared Motion Pictures. There's a couple little battle reports of us on there as well. We should try to get down there at some point, but unfortunately, this springtime has been very busy. It's a little challenging to get down there. Affiliate link for Huge Miniature below. And then, like always, Godspeed, Weapon X.